J.J. Watt to the Arizona Cardinals, a fantastic fit for the player and team. Look, it was a huge shocker yesterday, a legit wow. Nobody saw it happening. But this is incredibly logical. And of course J.J. Watt took the money. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer on the back nine of his career, who, by the way, has plenty of gas left in the tank. This is not Emmitt Smith at the end of his career going to hang out in Arizona just so he could cash a few checks. J.J. Watt can still play. This is like Calais Campbell going to the Baltimore Ravens last year. But the money mattered, and Watt got a great contract at $31 million over 2 years with $23 million guaranteed. And as his former defensive coordinator Wade Phillips told me today on my SiriusXM radio show, it's about the tangibles and the intangibles with J.J. Watt. He changes everything in your organization for accountability and practice habits, in addition to his great play. And by the way, J.J. Watt is still great. The key to me and the Cardinals is Watt staying healthy for a full season. Look, he doesn't have to be the guy anymore. That's Chandler Jones, who's coming back from injury. This is an elite 1-2 punch getting to the quarterback. Chandler Jones, a superstar. Chandler Jones got my vote for Defensive Player of the Year in 2019. And since Jones came into the league in 2012, top 2 sack artists in the NFL, you guessed it, Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. These guys are going to have a star safety and Budda Baker on defense, and I expect Isaiah Simmons to take a major step forward in his second year on D. And Watt's going to be reunited with his old Houston Texans friend, DeAndre Hopkins. How about it? It's a Bill O'Brien special. Hopkins is a superstar, and with Hopkins in a deep and talented receiving core, and year 3 of Kyler Murray, this team is going to rock. I still believe Kyler Murray is going to be a star. Remember, he hit a wall at the end of last year and also was a bit nicked and nacked. Arizona can and will absolutely win 11 games this year. I believe they are absolutely going to win double-digit games. That is the expectation. You have to remember, they went 8-8. They were close this year. They had close and brutal losses. The Zane Gonzalez missed field goal against Miami. The New England debacle. The games down the stretch against backup quarterbacks in the division to San Francisco and the L.A. Rams. There's going to be a ton of pressure here on Cliff Kingsbury, but J.J. Watt makes them better. This was a great fit. The Arizona Cardinals absolutely will make the playoffs and make a legit Super Bowl run. J.J. Watt helps them get there. On the heels of the J.J. Watt to Arizona move, who is the team to beat in the NFC West? Let's talk it out. As we speak right now, this is how I would project the standings. I want it on record as of March 2nd. This is subject to change. You know, we still have an offseason to go. Free agency, trades, the draft. I am all in on the Rams as the team to beat. I love the Matthew Stafford trade. I think Matthew Stafford is a home run selection by Sean McVay to be his next quarterback. I know what the critic says. Stafford's never won a playoff game. I think that's a function of being part of the rebuilding since 1957 Detroit Lions. In McVay's offense with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, and then you factor in Aaron Donald, who is the best non-quarterback on the planet, one of the best defensive players to ever play in the National Football League. Listen, the Rams are number 1. The Cardinals, they're a 10, 11, 12-win team for all the reasons we documented to start the show. You also have to factor in the San Francisco 49ers. And honestly, the main reason why we wrote, that's my projection as of March 2nd, is because of this guy. If Jimmy Garoppolo is off the team, if they improve the quarterback position, there's a very realistic chance I will put San Francisco higher than Arizona. I think the Niners are going to be back and locked and loaded. Obviously, they were snake bit last year with injuries. Nick Bosa is going to be back, and Kittle is going to be 100%, and my guy Deebo Samuel is going to be 100%, and Kyle Shanahan is an absolute gem, but they must improve the quarterback position, and I firmly believe that they will because John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they know what they're doing. Even when things got hairy last night with a wild ending in regulation and another epic Iron Eagle call, James Harden put on his Superman cape because that's the official level that we're at with James Harden right now. Now, he's always been a star. He's always played at an MVP level. But he's just so dialed in as a dominant teammate right now. Night in, night out, James Harden goes out and pitches the perfect game. Harden owned overtime as the Nets held on and beat the San Antonio Spurs. And his numbers, they're like video games. I mean, look at this. That's his 7th triple-double since getting traded to Brooklyn. Harden saved the Nets from losing a game that they led by 10 points with 2 minutes to go. I still can't believe my guy Kyrie Irving missed that layup. And look, you can laugh now because we all know Kyrie is one of the great finishers at the rack in the association. And listen, give Kyrie credit. He has been terrific since the James Harden trade. Kyrie with another brilliant game, 27 points, 7 assists, and it's worth stressing again, Brooklyn doing all of this each and every night with Kevin Durant hurt. Nobody's beating them in the Eastern Conference come playoff time. Kyrie has his championship. KD has a few. Harden's only knock in his stellar career has been the postseason and the elusive championship. The beard is locked in. A championship in Brooklyn is a real possibility.